Okay. So you have seen these everywhere. It starts with us,
Everyone.
ends with us. First book is It Ends With Us. Second book is It Starts With Us, which is
That doesn't make
confusing.
sense.
I don't like it. It does make sense when you read the book, but I still don't like it. Um, Written by Colleen Hoover. We've read one other book by her, Verity. Actually, I read two books by her. I also read Reminders of Him. Okay. I picked up this book thinking it was chick lit, and I read the first like 10 pages and I was like, this is not chick lit. So I put it back and it's like, I'm gonna deal with that another day. So I finally
What? What happened in the first 10 pages that was that jarring?
Death and Suicide.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so I was like, not where I wanted this to go. Um, Not what I needed at the time. So, anyways, after that, I guess I was just feeling kind of down one day and I was like, I need a sad read. I'll try this again. So I picked up It Ends With Us. I got this at Atticus Books, fun fact. So yeah.
Love it.
Um, it is what I expected, not a chick lit. It is filled with some hard topics. There is romance. There is like love, but there's also very hard relationships to read about. Are you going to read this book?
Yes, but I want to know the trigger warnings and what I'm getting into. So if you could share that at least.
Okay, so biggest trigger warning is domestic violence, domestic abuse. Yes, and I would say alcoholism or like substance abuse issues.
Should I read this book? Will I like this book? Or is this like,
Um, Actually, I want to say substance abuse issues. I would say aggression issues in domestic violence. Um,
do you recommend this book?
that's hard for me to say. Do I recommend it to people in general? Yes. I think it's a hard topic to read about.
Mm.
I think that it is enlightening to read about. As someone who's been fortunate to never be in a domestic, like in a violent relationship, it's brings a lot of, I think, knowledge and awareness to the other side of the table of like what why the woman, like the woman's or like the victim's mindset and everything that goes into the decisions that they make and how much like it affects someone's life. I think a big maybe misunderstanding in the general public, I'm just gonna say, is like, oh, well, why don't they just leave? And I think that that gets said a lot for people who stay. And after reading this, it enlightens you to be like, okay, it's not that easy. It's not black and white. There's a lot of gray. It's a really, really hard decision, and it's a really hard thing to leave and overcome. But it's also very hard to read about. It's not like light and fluffy. Um, I would say I do think you should read it. I think like you'll I think you will find it like captivating
Yeah.
in a sense. It's a duology. It is Spanish. So what happened was Colleen Hoover wrote this book, and it got so much publicity and like so much attention that this kind of leaves off the end of like, and this is what happens in the next like month. But people wanted more and they wanted to know how like the story like really ended. And then she wrote it starts with us. So it's does wrap everything else up, and it is a good conclusion to the story. And it's being made into a movie. It comes out this June, I believe, and it stars Blake Lively as the main character. So I'm for sure going to that. Definitely not chick lit though. I would rate it, I would say B.
Okay.
And it's because I wouldn't read it again. It does have a good message. I do think the writing could have been better. As you read in Verity, like some things are kind of awkward. Like it seemed rushed. I felt like she could have like been maybe a little more eloquent with some of the writing or dove a little deeper in like maybe editing, but overall it's pretty good. It's just like it's not like Lee Bardugo in the book we're reading right now, The Familiar, you know? It's
Yeah.
very just like, here's a thought, here's another thought, here's another thought. But it is a good story and it's a good message.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. I feel like those are two very different like levels of writing.
Yeah. 100%.
This is my
Oh,
life.
it's weird. It's like blocking him out.
Is it really? You couldn't
Yeah.
hear him?
I can't hear him barking.
What? How do I get that in my life? I need that implanted in my ear. He's
Zoom,
mad that I stopped petting him. So
zoom,
he likes to look you in the eye and like bark at
do it
you.
again. Let's test it.
Bentley, speak. Speak.
Oh,
You-
that one I could hear a little more.
Okay. Oh, bear came in. Speak.
No, it's blocking him out. I wonder if Zoom did an update this past like a week or two ago. I wonder if that's part of the update. That's freaking cool.
That's
I thought he was like broken. I was kind of like, what's wrong with Bentley? Like he normally barks. I can like see him trying.
no. He's loud and my ears are ringing a little bit.
Yeah, I do, Liz, when you read this, I want a play-by-play. Like when you get through like certain parts, I want you to text me and tell me what you think.
Oh my God, I'll do it. Okay. I'm committed. It's going on my TBR list. I'll read it. I'm like a little scared because like,
You should be.
did you cry at all?
No, not with that one. And that sounds super bad to say.
Like, fuck
Um,
those people. I didn't cry.
no,
Um,
it didn't get me like that. I was just kind of, you
what
do
was
want
your
to know how it finishes, but I would say that I didn't love any of the characters.
um what was your main emotion while reading it?
This is fucked up.
Tell me.
Like that's what I felt.
Oh, oh, I thought you meant your
I
emotion was fucked up and you didn't want to say it.
I was
No.
just like what is going on? Yeah. It's kind
Um,
of I think like a very elevated like Maury show.
I forgot about Maury.
Yeah. Oh
Those are good shows. Homesick from School.
my gosh, yes.
Little Maury, little Judge Judy, some Reading Rainbow.
Those were the days.
My favorite thing recently with Brian is like, I don't know how it comes up in conversations, but I love saying like, the more you know, with
Yeah.
like a star that like flies through the
Yeah.
sky.
What was that from? Reading Rainbow? No.
It's like a PBS commercial or like, how do I,
Hmm,
with the star, that flies through the sky. I'm gonna get a shirt with it on it.
you
Whenever
should.
I say it, Brian's like, you're so old. Like you're showing your age. No one else knows that. Like,
I haven't thought of that for a long time, but now it's gonna stick in my head. So thank you. The
you're
more
welcome.
cool.
I
Well,
think of that and I think of Wishbone a lot. Do you think about Wishbone?
no, I do think of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood sometimes.
That's a good one too.
Or Dragon Tales, come on, take my hand, let's all go to Dragonland.
Love it. Max and Emmy.
Yes, way better than Caillou or any of those other stupid shows.
I like Dragonland. Wishbone is the best though. Retelling classical books, but the main character is a Jack Russell Terrier.
Love
Like
it.
nothing gets better.
I did like Antiques Roadshow too.
Oh, it's good. I hadn't thought about that. You're so weird, Madeline. Such an old soul.
I know. You have to admit
I
it's
like Dragon Tales and Antiques Roadshow.